Namaste. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chintamani Cloud, and today's practice will be for the gentle yogis needing to get deep into the hips and the lower back. So we're going to make our way towards the floor. We're going to start in a seated cross-legged position, and we're going to use that position to open up our body from head to toe, but really focusing on the hips and lower back. Remember that you can modify this practice as you need to, coming out of poses also early if you need to. I'll see you there. Namaste. Starting from a comfortable seated position, we'll do some shoulder rolls, lifting the shoulders up and rolling them back behind you to start. After a couple of sets of those, now we'll lift the shoulders up and roll them forward, trying to keep the spine nice and tall. And that should help isolate the movements through the shoulders. Now we'll do one more set to lift those shoulders up and roll them back behind us. We're gonna bring our hands back behind us too, and we're gonna really open across the collarbones, across the pecs. We're gonna pull the head back, tuck the chin in, and then we're gonna lift the gaze up towards the ceiling, getting a nice stretch through the front of the neck as we create a little bit of an upper back bend and get a nice stretch through the chest and the front side of the body. And now we're going to bring the chin back down, tucking it in, lifting the neck and head up. And we're going to walk our hands out towards our sides. And we're going to have our hands coming out from in line with our hips. And this should help us to feel our core engage gently to help us find a nice tall spine. So cross-legged position is not always comfortable for everyone, but it's an important posture that can help us cultivate the right length in the spine, the right awareness and engagement of strength in the core, the right utilization of the psoas if we're able to modify this posture as we need to. So one of the ways that I'm modifying it is that I'm really bringing my feet in, I'm flexing them, and I'm letting my knees stay supported by my feet. Some folks will place blocks under the knees instead, or you can roll up towels or blankets to prop the knees up. But we really want the knees to lift and a nice cross position, and now we can feel our core engage, right? And this is going to help us find our posture here, and we're going to come into some deep breaths. We're going to turn the palms to face up, find your core. Inhale, we'll lift the arms up. Exhale, we'll draw the hands back down. And I'm letting my gaze stay firmly fixed on the floor in front of me, turning the palms back up. We inhale and exhale. But if you're ready to get that stretch through the neck, we can take the gaze up too. Inhale. And exhale. Now the gaze has to come back down. Let's leave the right hand on the floor and inhale just the left arm up. As we exhale, we're going to depress the upper arm bone into the shoulder socket so that our shoulder is staying in what's known as our shoulder girdle. And we're going to keep it there. We're going to draw the core in for support. We're going to take an inhale and then just gently bending at the right elbow to exhale. And we don't have to worry about how far we go. We just want to make sure that we breathe into the stretch and we hold the alignment. So I'm drawing the core in and I'm making sure that I don't collapse my left shoulder forward, but lift it up and back. And it's in line with my right shoulder. And if you want to stretch your right hand out now that you've got the alignment in check, feel welcome to. If you want to gaze at the floor or lift your gaze up towards your ceiling, feel welcome to. And now when we're going to leave this posture, you're going to inhale, your left arm will lift, your right arm comes back in to support you. Exhale, lower left arm down. If you need to roll through the shoulders between sides, feel welcome to. And now we'll get ready. Shoulders are back behind us. We stay lifted through the fingers to help us find length in the spine. And what does that length translate to? It translates to strength in the core. We're gonna flip the right palm up now. So you're doing your right side. We'll inhale, right arm up. Exhale, draw the girdle into position. We'll take a nice inhale breath here. And as we exhale, for to start, I'm keeping my hand in close, just bending at the elbow. I want to be able to keep my right hip and my right knee down because they're going to want to lift up. And then we have to make sure that we're keeping the spine in check. So we don't want to start arching. We want to engage. And what's so funny is that when we engage, we sometimes imagine ourselves collapsing. But if you could see your body, you'll see that you look nice and strong and long as you lengthen your spine by engaging the core for one more breath. And then we're going to inhale, right arm lifts up, exhale, right arm lowers. Let's turn both palms up. We'll take an inhale. And we'll draw down, exhale, retrace that alignment. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. And on this last one now, we're gonna inhale our arms up and overhead. And we're gonna exhale our hands down to heart center. And we're gonna close the eyes and draw the gaze within. And we'll check in with the nasal passageway to see if it's clear today. And then if it is, we'll draw the breath in and out of the body through the nose. And we'll go ahead and blink the eyelids open if you haven't already. We'll lower our hands down to our sides. Once again, we're going to inhale the arms up. And exhale, retrace that circle. And then we're going to inhale the arms up. And this time as we exhale, we're going to twist towards the right. Right hand falls back behind you. Left hand comes to right knee. We're going to take an inhale breath to lengthen the spine. And we're going to exhale into any amount of twist. So your gaze can be more forward, still looking at the screen, or maybe looking gently out to the right. Or if you want to, try to steer the gaze all the way towards the right shoulders. You draw the belly in for one more breath. And if your gaze is leading, we'll draw it back forward. Then we can inhale as the arms come forward, and we'll exhale into second side. So right hand is on left knee as we inhale, lengthen the spine, exhale. Maybe your gaze is just gently over towards this left side. Maybe you're still looking at the screen, or maybe we're following the gaze around the twist over towards the left shoulder back behind us. And I'm still staying active through my cross-legged position, active through my core, using my anchor, the lower limbs as an anchor. We're gonna go ahead and inhale as we come back to center. And exhale, roll those shoulders back. We'll do one more inhale here. And as we exhale, we're gonna come forward. And it's not just the shoulders that we wanna bring forward. In fact, we want the shoulders to stay back behind us. We wanna bring the belly forward. So let's bring the belly forward. Let's lengthen through the spine and bring the long spine forward by walking your hands forward. And if you need to take another inhale breath, so you can process your movements more safely, exhale as you come forward. Now let's gaze at the shins and keep breathing. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhaling here. Let the knees lift. Exhale. Let the chest draw to the lifted knees. And one more breath here. Now we're going to walk our hands back in to support us so that we can stay nice and tall as we come back up to seated. Lift those shoulders up, roll them out, and now we're going to lift the knees up. We're going to shake our legs out in front of us. And you can do some self-massage along the quads. I like to push directly along the length of the thigh, along the femur bone from the hips down towards the knees. I love that self-massage. I also like to shake the thighs out. Thumbs to the inside of the quadricep and forefingers to the outside. So we can do anything like that. If you want to, point the toes, and then we're gonna flex, get some movements through the ankles and calves here. We're gonna go a little deeper into the legs, but just starting out gently here. We're gonna take a forward fold, starting with hands coming back behind us. We're gonna be paying attention in a gentle way to our core from seated position. So finding it again now. First stage, maybe you don't find it. So what we need to do is take our hands now out to our sides, and this should help us. We're gonna stay lifted on those fingertips. Draw in through the core, lengthen through the neck, but tuck the chin in. Sometimes that chin wants to wander. And now draw the legs in. Now you can be very gentle through your legs. Through my trained practice, I do a lot of strength-based alignment where I'm very much encouraging us also to engage the body. But you can be a little bit more gentle through the legs, but we want to make sure that we don't hyperextend the knees. And now we're going to bring our hands forward. We're going to take an inhale breath. And now remember, belly to legs. Chest to legs. Maybe hands come to toes. Maybe hands don't come to toes. Maybe we're here. That's okay too. Maybe we're here. That's okay too. Wherever you are, deep and sound breathing. 3 more breaths. And 1 more breath. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. And then your inhale breath can lift you up. Your hands can walk you back in. Lengthen the spine. Roll through the shoulders as you exhale. Now I'm going to tilt on a diagonal for a moment. And it's just for a viewing experience. You're going to stay just as you are. And we're going to get ready to come into our next posture. We're going to fold the right foot back. Or we're going to start off... You will mirror me. So you'll be folding your left leg back, and we'll draw the left leg out to the side. And I'm moving my right leg, but this is intentional. This is so we're mirroring each other. And we're gonna try to open this left foot away from the right leg. If you need to support yourself with a folded blanket or towel, that should help if you have any pain in the hip. We don't wanna do this pose if we have pain in the knee. And if we do have pain in the knee, we can modify by bringing foot forward or lifting knee up or both. Okay, so being mindful of how you need to modify your poses, we're gonna go ahead and find our lengthened spine. Okay. Draw the core in now. As your hands come out towards your sides here, extending out from the hips like we've been doing, the core is gonna fire up. And now we're gonna walk our hands forward, keep the core fired up. Don't press into the hands yet. Keep the shoulders back, take an inhale. Exhale, try to touch the foot. If we don't touch the foot, that's okay too. If we do, maybe you'll use it, but shoulders are pulling back, chest is coming forward. Shoulders are pulling back, chest is coming forward. And one more breath here. And then we're gonna inhale to lift up. Exhale, pull shoulders back. Inhale, draw your left leg up. And now we're gonna stay right here. If you wanna cross the left leg over the right for your twist, you can come into that position now. Or if the hip's tight, maybe you'll get enough of a twist by keeping the left leg to the inside of the right foot. So see what alignment works for you. I'm gonna draw my right hand to my left leg and my left hand back behind me. Active through the body, active through the core to find the alignment. We take an inhale breath here and we exhale into a twist. So you can choose again how much of the upper body, how much of the neck and head are going into this twist. The gaze can stay forward or it can look back behind you. One more breath. And then we're gonna inhale to come up to center. And for our exhale, we're just gonna lean over towards the right as a little bit of a counter twist. And then we're gonna lift back up. When we lift back up, we can exhale and extend that left leg and shake it out. We're gonna get ready for second side, which I'm gonna demonstrate from this angle. And we'll draw right foot in now and open right knee out to the side. Maybe one hip tighter than the other. Maybe you don't feel it in your hip and you only feel it in your knee, and that's usually a sign of a tight hip. So we need to either lift the knee up, maybe a lot, bring the foot forward, or a combo. So see where you're at on your second side. If we're opening externally and we want to invite more of a stretch, we want to think of continuing to open the foot away from the inner thigh. That's where you're at, if you have that flexibility. And then we're gonna bring our hands back behind us. It's so common for us to jump right into a pose, but I'm really gonna invite us through our awareness to find our core first. So hands back behind us. How we get into postures is a really important part of the practice and it's often overlooked. Let's take an inhale breath here. Draw the core in as you exhale. Inhale, hands forward, shoulders back. Exhale, shoulders back, chest to leg. Inhale, shoulders back. Exhale, hands to foot. Inhale, shoulders back. Exhale, head to knee. It's okay if we're still here. It's okay if we're still here. If you need to come out early, that's okay too. One more breath. Let's inhale to lift up and exhale to come to seated with shoulders back. Inhale to draw right leg up. Exhale as you cross right leg over left. Maybe you don't cross the legs. Maybe you stay here for your twist. Left hand to right knee, right hand back behind us. We take an inhale to lengthen the spine and exhale, twist. So the twist is happening in the shoulder. I'm pulling right shoulder back. That's bringing my left shoulder forward. Or I could also say pull left shoulder forward, pull right shoulder back. So simultaneous. We can gaze at the screen towards our right side or back behind us. One more breath. And then we're going to inhale back up towards the front. Exhale into a counter twist towards the left. Inhale back up to center and exhale to shake it out. Okay. And then from here, bringing the soles of both feet together, now we're gonna widen both knees apart. So this is our butterfly position. And some yogis, again, will be challenged by pain in the hips or knees or both. Some folks maybe will feel it in the outer hips or lower back. And ways we can modify this posture. We don't have to draw the feet in all the way. We can do that in time. And we don't have to let the knees go unsupported. We can fold a towel or a blanket under each knee, different heights depending on different tightnesses and weaknesses, or same height. If you don't need any blocks or blankets, then come into a position that's comfortable for you. And we're gonna try to open up the feet and bring the knees towards the floor. Then we're gonna bring our hands back behind us. We're gonna push into our hands. We're gonna bring the knees towards the floor. Now we're gonna find our core as we crawl our hands out towards our sides. Pushing into our hands, we're gonna help push our knees down and find our core. We'll take one more breath here, and then we're gonna bring our hands to our feet if that's comfortable. We'll take an inhale breath here, and same concept. Chest to feet, shoulders back. Chest to feet. As we pull on our feet, we can pull our elbows back, and it's gonna guide the chest in between the arms towards the feet any amount. What do you need, girl dog? Take an inhale breath here, exhale forward. All right, we'll inhale to lift up, and we'll exhale to pull our hands back behind us. We'll inhale to draw the knees up to center, and exhale to shake the legs out in front of us. And from here, hopefully you'll have enough room to do this. We're gonna come to a position of widening the feet apart. Wide-legged forward fold. And ways to modify, you don't open your feet out to a point of any kind of pain or tension. We want to open our feet out to a place where you say, this is right before ouch. And then we're going to bring our hands back behind us. We're going to open through the collarbones, but lengthen along the spine. A little bit of back bending is going to happen here, and we're going to engage our core to undo the back bending. And then to seal it all in, our hands crawling out to the sides should help seal the deal. Feel your core here, lengthen your spine, and hold you in this shape, creating this shape. Now, if this is already enough of a workout for you, you can stay right here. Some of us are gonna bring the hands forward. We're gonna take an inhale breath here, and as we exhale, you're gonna investigate going as far as is comfortable for you. And this isn't about me trying to show everyone how deep I can go into this practice. This is about us all breathing together. So don't judge yourself or others. We're just going to be in this stretch, in this shape, in this breath. And then we can walk our hands back in to help us come out of this shape gently. Bending at the knees, you can pull your feet in to meet each other, and we can shake it out with any self-massage on the quadriceps that feels good. All right. Getting a little bit deeper and deeper into the hips now. We've really opened up the body now. We're gonna do one more forward fold in our straight-legged position, and then we're gonna get ready to come up onto our knees for a little bit. So finding our core first, we'll kind of go through it a little quickly now. Inhale, lengthen spine, exhale, hands out to the sides. Find the core, inhale, lengthen spine, exhale. Hands and chest come forward a little. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, chest comes forward, maybe hands come to feet. Inhale, lengthen spine, exhale. All right, let's lift up. And exhale, shoulders back. So now I'm gonna bring my hands to one side, and I'm gonna lean over to that same side so I can pull my feet back and come into a tabletop position. All right, and I have very sensitive knees, so I always do a yoga practice with a blanket or a towel nearby me, and you may want to do that as well. And you can see that I'm right away going to have a support for my knees, because for me, I can't tolerate without it. And then I want the knees to come hip distance apart or a little bit more. We're going to spread the fingers out wide, shoulder width distance apart a little bit more, and we'll move through a couple sets of cat-cow, either on your own or following me as you inhale. Exhaling, inhaling, back bend shape, exhale, forward compression. One more set. And as you exhale, really push into the hands and knees, bring the middle of the back up, up, up for one more breath. And then we'll inhale to our flat back. And now some folks might benefit from books or blocks, or I'm trying to think of different ways that folks can modify if they don't have blocks. So books, or I like actually rather to use a folded towel or a folded blanket, and that are matching in size that you could put under each hand. But we're gonna have the option to come up to a lifted position in our lunge. So let's see what we need to use today to come safely into this pose. So we'll be on our lifted fingertips. We're gonna draw this left thigh into the chest, and we're gonna try to slide this left foot forward up in between the hands. Then we're gonna crawl our hands forward. We're gonna keep our right knee where it is, but we're gonna bring our hips forward. And right now we're both doing left foot forward first together. And then your toes on the right foot can be curled under, or they can be pointed, whatever is more comfortable. Your hands can stay on the floor or hands to knee. This is gonna help us find the right alignment of tucking the tailbone under and drawing the ribs and navel in. Lower belly too. Hands can stay on the hips, or maybe you release your hands out to your sides and inhale your arms up. Deep and sound breathing. Remember, we want to tuck the tailbone under. It's a posterior tilt of the tailbone that allows us to draw the belly in. And what are we getting? A very deep stretch on the front side of our right hip for one more breath. And then we're going to exhale to release. Good. And now we're going to come into a little bit of a counter stretch. So I'm going to walk my hands back and hips back. And now I'm going to crawl my left toes forward, not back. And then when my left leg is mostly straight, I'm gonna peel my left fingertips back, and now I have a nice flexed left foot, and I'm nicely lifted. I take a nice inhale breath here, exhale, forward fold any amount. And then we're gonna inhale to lift. And now, actually don't walk your hands forward, pull your foot in. And that's core work here. So push into your hands, pull your foot in, and you can shake it out. And I'm gonna turn for my demoing purposes. You're staying with hands down and shaking a tail. And we'll get ready for a second side. Maybe lifting onto fingertips will be helpful. If you need folded towels or blankets under your hands, maybe you've got yoga blocks at home. We're gonna bring that right foot forward up in between the hands. We're gonna crawl the toes forward and hands forward. Now I'm gonna bring the hips forward, left knee stays where it is. Hands can stay on the floor, or second option, hands come to the knee or hips. This will help me with my demo. I'm tucking tailbone under, drawing the belly in. And then the left foot can stay pointed or flex, whatever is more comfortable. Maybe you like to do a few breaths in each. Extend your arms if you want help with opening up through the shoulders as you lift the arms up. Nice stretch in front side of left hip, deep stretch there. Some of us will feel a stretch in right hip too, so if that's you and you need to come out early, that's okay. We'll take one more breath here. We'll exhale to release. So if you ever are a person that needs to come out early, that's okay too. Our counter stretch, we walk our hands back, we walk our hips back, but what do we do with right foot? It's gonna go forward, 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 crawling and straightening out the leg. Then I can pull the toes back. Take a nice inhale breath, stay nice and lifted, left heel off of left hip off of left heel. We take a nice inhale breath here and we exhale, forward fold, 3 breaths. Get a nice stretch of back side of right leg. Inhale to lift, keep your hands where they are, pull your foot in. Okay, keep your hands where they are. Use the core, draw the thigh and knee up into the chest, and this is where we get to shake a tail. All right, and then we're gonna come to a child's pose position. So I'm gonna invite us to actually bring the knees together, but I like to come off of my knee guard for this and bring my knees together. Way to modify child's pose is you can have them a little bit apart, but then you want your feet a little bit apart too. Okay, so if knees are together, feet are together. If knees are a little bit apart, then we can have feet a little bit apart. I'm not inviting us into this alignment of knees wide apart. If that's your practice, you're always welcome to modify your class as you need to. But I'm instructing us into a knees mostly together position. And as we exhale into our forward fold, I'm also going to invite us to bring our hands forward just to start. So that way, as we guide ourselves into the shape, we can see if the heels want to come, the hips want to come off of the heels. And if they do, then we can stop ourselves in the shape where the hips are still staying on the heels, and then we can assess. We can use our hands to support us, or we can intervene with supports. If we don't need any supports, bringing your head to the floor, arms back behind you, deep breathing here. Inhaling slowly and evenly in through your nose. Exhaling slowly and evenly out through the nose. All right, then we're going to bring our hands back forward if they're not already there. And we're going to push up to a seated position. And we're going to get ready to swing over onto our backs again. So I'm moving my props out of the way. And from our seated position, just like before, we bring our hips and hands to one side. We let our legs come forward. And then I'm going to walk myself towards a position on my mat that gives me nice clearance to bring right elbow down, left elbow down. Walk my elbows forward, keep my chin tucked in, and lower down safely on towards the floor. Bending in the knees. We're going to go ahead and draw the knees into the chest. And don't think so much about lifting the back off the floor unless you need to find your legs. But I don't care about a hug. I'm okay with just hands at the knees. But I want neck and head to lengthen into the floor. Shoulders to pull back into the floor. And now push your middle back in towards the floor as you draw your knees in. All right, now happy baby, we can open up the thighs away from each other. Feet lift to the ceiling. You can clasp around those thighs, around those calves, around those ankles, or maybe you grab the feet. And the purpose here is creating a nice, gentle squat. Instead of doing a squat while we're standing on our feet, we're doing it nicely on our backs. And if you want to roll from side to massage your back along the floor, it usually feels really good. All right. And then from here, we're going to come to a place of lifting the feet up to the ceiling. So the knees come back together and we straighten out the legs. And let's do some ankle rolls. Right and left foot if you need to widen your feet apart. If you need to do one foot at a time. And then we'll flex and point. Just exploring some movement through the ankles and feet. Great. And then we'll come to some stillness here, trying to mostly straighten out the legs. Now try to get active through the core here. Push the upper back, middle back, and lower belly in towards the floor as you lift your feet up to the ceiling. And then we're going to take our arms out into a T shape, and you can stay right here. You can try cactus shape for the arms. Lengthening the neck and head, tucking the chin in. Now we're going to do some gentle core work. You can choose to stay right here, or you can choose to bend the right knee, drop the right foot towards the floor. Then we're going to do exhale, light knee in, lift the right foot up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale breath, exhale, left foot, left knee bends, left foot comes to the floor. Inhale, knee in, exhale, left foot lifts. Okay, so we'll try to do that on right and left side. So if you'd like to inhale as the knee comes in and the foot draws down, exhale. Inhaling, left side, exhale. Inhaling, right side, exhale. Inhaling, left side, exhale. Now maybe you had to go slower. Maybe you did that with both legs at the same time. Whatever feels good, we're going to shake that out from here. We're going to draw the knees into the chest, give ourselves another hug. Then we're going to place the knees on the feet on the floor. Knees are wide apart. Get ready for bridge pose. So now I'm going to lengthen my arms alongside the body. I'm going to posterior tilt the tailbone as I push my lower back into the floor. And I'm going to start to squeeze through the glutes to lift my thighs off the floor. And your feet can be nice and wide apart. So we don't want any pain in the lower back. We need this posterior tilt of the tailbone. We want to complement it with a drawing in of the lower belly, pushing into my shoulders, pushing into my head and neck. My chin is moving away from my chest, but my chest is moving towards my chin for one more breath. And then we'll lower that down. I don't know if I love that cue. I guess I want the neck to lengthen and the chin to draw in. And then the chest is going to lift up towards the chin. So the chin, I guess, is not moving. All right. And we'll draw the knees in towards the chest if you haven't already to get out of that alignment. And we're going to get to do a little bit more stretching on our backs here for a couple more breaths. Now we're going to draw the feet towards the floor. We're going to exhale, lift the left foot up towards the ceiling, and we're going to clasp around the left thigh, the left calf, maybe the left foot. You can also use a strap, a belt, or scarf around your left leg. if you don't want to hold here. So wherever you are in your practice, we're trying to keep the spine along the floor as we draw this left leg in. Right leg can stay bent like this, or if you want to straighten out the leg, go for it. See if that feels good. If it doesn't, we can go ahead and rebend that knee, okay? So stay where it feels good. Now we're gonna open our knee out, our foot out to the left. You can do this with a bent leg. So you can do this with just the knee, or very nice, your whole leg out to the left side. Right leg can be, again, bent or straight, and you can hold around the thigh, around the calf, around the ankle, the foot. You can use a strap, a scarf, or a belt. And traditionally, I actually want the spine nice and long, and we do want to look out towards the opposite side of the extended leg, so we can meet here for a moment. And then we'll come back to center. We're gonna lift the foot up as we inhale, and we're gonna do a little bit more core work here. We're gonna try to bring down the head to the leg. Exhale. Inhale here. Exhale, one more. Inhale here. Exhale. And then we'll inhale to straighten the spine. Exhale, draw the knee into the chest. We'll place the foot on the floor and we'll bend both knees. Get gentle sway from side to side, getting ready for second side now. So I'm gonna start off with both knees bent. I'm gonna exhale that right foot up to the ceiling. Maybe I'll clasp around right thigh, knee, calf, ankle, foot. Left leg can stay straight or bent. Inhaling here, pulling the leg in. I'm sorry, Guru Dog. We're getting towards the end of the practice here now, everyone. So we'll take a nice inhale, breath, lengthen the spine. Exhale, draw the leg into the chest. And we're gonna get ready to open onto the side. So you can do this with a bent right leg or a straightened one. You can explore both. Different places to hold the leg. Okay, see how it feels. Maybe you'll take your gaze out to the opposite side. All right, and then we're gonna bring our gaze back to center. We're gonna inhale the leg up. It is 3 breaths in our crunch. Exhale, lift. Stay there on the inhale. Exhale, lift. Stay there on the inhale. Exhale, lift. Stay there on the inhale. Exhale, lower. And then we bend at the right knee and we draw both knees into the chest once again. And this time maybe a little bit of rolling on the lower back again to do some massage there. Hopefully now the body is feeling restored, feeling open from head to toe without ever having come off the floor. And we'll go ahead and bring the feet back down towards the floor too. And we can come into a resting posture from here. If you'd like to do a traditional Shavasana, feel welcome to. If you'd like to do something a little less traditional, feel welcome to. And I like to bring the soles of the feet together and widen the knees apart with the supportive blocks or with the support or without them. And then sometimes it's nice to come into cactus shape, but for the closing of a practice, it's also sometimes nice to connect with the body, the belly, or the heart. So see where you'd like to keep your arms. See how you'd like to expand your legs, and then maybe you'll take a cleansing breath to sigh anything out of the body. And then let the breath begin to shallow so that there's very little movement in your body. And stay there for as long as is comfortable. Before reintroducing movement back in. Hope you'll have a great rest of your day. Namaste.